Hi, I'm Maria Fontanaza, editor of Food Safety Tech, and I'm here at Food Safety Summit with Christina Romas of Repositrak. So last year when we talked about FSMA, it was very much a wait-and-see approach.
Yes.
Now that the final rules are here and companies are preparing for compliance, what sorts of culture shifts are you seeing within companies and the behavior changes that are needed to either prepare for compliance or just get up to speed with what needs to be done?
Sure. Well, you're right. The waiting period is over. FDA has spoken. The rules are finalized. And we're up against some of the implementation dates just around the corner. So I think companies are taking an active approach to getting their supply chain in compliance. I think there's been a culture shift with food safety professionals having more visibility to the leadership team and to the C-suite.
Do you think that there's enough understanding of FSMA in the C-suite?
No.
Okay, and so when we're talking about that, how can we sort of bridge the gap between the folks, the boots on the ground, the folks who are living and breathing what FSMA is going to require, and the C-suite, and having the C-suite understand the corporate responsibility that's now going to happen as a result of the compliance under FSMA?
Sure. I think there's still a ton of questions around FSMA, and I know that we get a lot of questions. We field a lot of questions from prospects and customers that say to us, if I have this business profile, I am a retailer with a warehouse, with stores, with a central kitchen, which parts of FSMA apply to me and what do I need to do to be in compliance? We do at Repositrak host monthly webinars in order to keep our prospects and customers up to date on the changing regulation.
Okay, and so when we're talking about the FSMA rules, are there any specific ones that you're seeing particular challenges with? For example, foreign supplier verification, sanitary transportation. Are there specific ones that folks are having more difficulty with in terms of compliance and understanding what they need to do?
Sure. I think in the last 6 months we've seen the most interest with the foreign supplier verification program, simply because the dates are just around the corner, but also because a lot of retailers, manufacturers, wholesalers don't currently have a process in place for their foreign suppliers, or they're buffered by an importer. And so where 6 months ago they felt, I'm not the importer of record, so I'm not responsible for this, I think a lot of folks in the leadership team are saying, even though we have an importer, I'm ultimately responsible for the products that I sell to our consumers, and so I want to identify who those foreign suppliers are and are they following foreign supplier verification program.
So during your presentation, you asked the audience the question, raise your hand, how many of you are still working with paper and who's automating? So what's the change there? What needs to happen? I mean, it seems like a lot of folks are still using paper, they're not automating, and perhaps not understanding the true benefits of it. So what is Repositrak doing to help folks in this adoption cycle?
Sure. Everyone has a challenge somewhere. So what we're finding is the small to mid-sized, either retailers, wholesalers, or manufacturers, are still very paper-based, filing cabinets, Excel spreadsheets. And so they need help to automate that process. What we're seeing from mid to large size retailers is they may have some systems in place, but they're very siloed. And so they have a system that manages liability insurance, and they have a system that manages third-party audits, and they have a system that manages product specs. And it's really difficult for them to have one holistic view into their supply chain and understand, are all of my vendors compliant with all of the requirements that we expect?